My name is Richard Godfrey. I am the Chief Learning Officer and the Chief Operations Officer for Life Engineering. Over the last 30 years, I've had the opportunity to be tutored by three of the most successful people in the learning business, first working for and then being a partner with Hyrum Smith, the founder of Franklin International and the creator of the Franklin Planner. I then had the opportunity to work with Stephen Covey, Dr. Covey, the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, where I had the opportunity to both develop curriculum with Dr. Covey and to ghostwrite a number of his books. Finally, I worked with Ken Blanchard. Ken is the author of over 60 New York Times business bestsellers and one of the deepest and broadest thinkers in the business. In the case of Franklin, before it became Franklin Covey, we had a very, very small IP stack. One of the things I do to represent this idea is I've taken the IP from these companies I've been able to work with and represented each of their fundamental maximal IP as a single sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. In that metaphor, if I was trying to represent what Franklin took to market with their IPO, where they became a multi-billion-dollar player, their IP stack would look roughly like this. That's a multi-billion-dollar play. Now, when we merged with the Covey Leadership Group, they had a slightly larger IP stack, primarily in two areas at that time, what became known as the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, and what was originally known as Principle-Centered Leadership, which became the foundation of everything that we built out of that relating to leadership. Their IP stack would look roughly like this. So this is the Covey IP stack. This is the Franklin IP stack. They're both billion-dollar plays on their own. Combined together into what you now know as Franklin Covey, this is a multi-billion-dollar play. Now, Ken was a much more prolific generator not only of books, but of intellectual property. And if I just take his New York Times bestsellers and the ideas that were fundamental or central to those books, I would reasonably represent Ken's IP stack roughly this thick. This is a multi-billion-dollar play. These two individually and collectively are multi-billion-dollar plays. These are three of the biggest players of the 20th century in the learning business. That's roughly what they brought to the market. I have the responsibility as the Chief Learning Officer to have a primary engagement with our existing intellectual property, as we have gathered it from our team in preparation to go to market. Using the same methodology as I've just shared with you, if I was to take the IP, focusing only on major content that we have as we launch Life Engineering to help individuals, leaders, and organizations achieve excellence, this would be the Life Engineering IP stack. This is what we are taking to market. I've done this for 30 years. I've taken this to market and we built billion-dollar plays. We have got everything we need to blow the doors off the 21st century. Life Engineering is the platform to collect, codify, and share learning with individuals, leaders, and organizations, and fundamentally not only disrupt the learning world, but change the world for the better.